Well, good evening and welcome to another Scale Model Ninja. Tonight it is Warhammer night. So, just little old me working on Mr. Bannerman. So I have actually been playing with it for the last sort of like half an hour or so, but we haven't got it all done yet. But we do have a bit more to do on it. So yeah. But it seems to be going reasonably well. What's going on there? So yeah. Hopefully we might even get the actual main figure finished tonight and glued together, because we've got most of it done. We just got his buckle belt and, well, buckle and belt to do around the back of it, and the little pouches left on him to do, and some more detailing of the flag, or the banner I should say. So yeah, we are getting there. And we've got a bit more work to do on the top of the staff and the base area, and then once we've got that done, we can start working on the part of the diorama base, which is actually going to be this one. So that's what we're going to be doing. So this week, well, yesterday afternoon I should say, I have done some more of the Schlego builds, and he's put away at the moment, but I've been building the F1 car on Monday. We had a couple of good pulls on the old Pokemon cards, so Roran was going to be happy about that. What else have we got? Oh, we did have a purchase as well, and that was basically on last week when I went over to Leeds, because as of 8th of September I start my university course, my foundation degree. Oh, so I've only got 5 years of that to do. So yeah, well, while I was there I had to have a wander through Leeds, and it just so happened to sort of take me past the Warhammer shop. So yeah, and that was my purchase. It's one of the new Black Templars, and I just wanted to give little Age of Sigma dude a little friend. So we will be at some point doing that dude as well. Now my other purchase is the actual new bench light, so it gives me a lot more light down on the bench, and I'm not relying on the two old ring lamps, which were beginning to sort of go a bit dull, as they say. So yeah, so we've got them. But other than that, it's looking all good. So now I do hope that everybody's enjoying the stream so far, and if you do, please hit the thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. But what we've got to do now is basically finish off on Mr. Lionhead here on this piece. We have the belt on this dude and his little back belt there, and pouches. As I said, we do have a little thing there to do, and that's going to be using Tamiya red on that, the clear red. So just sort of lightens that up a little more and turns it more of the front section where he's got the jeweled, and then basically tidy up around his eyes area, because for some reason it looks like somebody shot him in the eyes and he's bleeding red. So I've got that bit to sort out. Once I've done that, I can then move forward again. But what I've got to do first is dismantle this little dude. So there we are. Let's get you in there like so. There we go. Just so we can actually do some easier work on this dude. Now his head can stay there because I don't really need that moving. I just need the gold. Let's see. I'll go down to down camera so you can actually see what I'm doing a bit better now. Oh, there we go. So you can see from the back of the dude here, we got the belt along there to do. We've also got the stone, and we have some leafage and that lot to do around there. And then once I put him onto this, we've got to do the fifth base here, because that's where he's going to be permanently based onto that. So yeah, all fun and games. Just see what this minute. Yeah, that's looking all right. We have the icon on that one already. Where's that? A bit sticky. So I want a bit of gold, and because on his eyes, it just looks as though he's gone a bit too far. So we're just going to tidy them up. There we go. Yep, that's that sorted. So yeah, that's that bit done. Now, what we've also got to do with this one is I've got to take. Well, I've got to take him out, haven't I? Because there we go. I'm taking him out because we've got the stonework to do and the earth around the base of it here. So what we're going to do is you're going to get some the light grey that I wanted, and I need some of the other colours. I'm over here on the old bench thing. Let's move you that way. So, it's unreal. Green, green, and aggro left side. There we go. That's in 3, and we need a medium sugar. Okay. So this is where I start using a lot of my washes and everything. Now I know a lot of you people watching, but I've got nobody in my messages, so please message me so I know it's working in the chat. Let's see if that's actually working. Oh, it is working. That's right. It's just going to be one of them days today, I think. So I've got to do the red bit on the back of the flag. And then I've got to be extremely careful that I don't touch it like I normally end up doing. For some strange reason, I always end up putting my finger where I shouldn't do. Purely by accident, of course, but that's what happens. But other than that, yeah, we're getting there. We've got Mr. Harry Marvikin saying, good evening, Ross. And then we've got Wayne Williams saying, so what Warhammer are you working on tonight? It's the Bannerman from Age of Sigmar and Knight Relax Bannerman. So that's what I'm building tonight. And you got Don't start playing, see what goes on internet again tonight. We've got Jeff Light saying hi Ross, so good evening Jeff and Maggie. And where is everyone tonight? I haven't got a Scooby. It's been very quiet tonight, and everybody's not bothered to come and join me. Now, if any of you lot out there want to come and join me, let me know, and I'll put the link in the chat. And then you can always join in if you want. Well, up to 6 people, and 5 people can join if they want to. Then we've got Harry saying hi to Wayne. Then we've got Jeff Light saying hi to Harry. And then we've got Harry saying hi to Jeff and Maggie. Jeff Light saying hi to Wayne. And then Wayne saying hi to Harry and Jeff. So yeah, yeah, if anybody's interested in joining in on the live stream, let me know, and I'll put the link in the chat, and anybody can come on, and as long as you've got a web camera and you enjoy building models, it doesn't. You don't have to just be building Warhammer or that. You can do whatever you want. I don't mind. It's all part of the fun, as they say. Modeling is modeling, in my opinion. So yeah, you're more than welcome to come and join in. There we go. That's your right. And then just this side, and there we go. There we go. That's that. So that's that bit done. And you can be careful I don't put my fingers in the red, because it does take, when you put it on the slick as I do on that for that time there, it will be, it takes a few minutes to dry off. There's also some tidying up I've got to do. So I've spent quite a bit of time today just tidying up around the faint lines that make these back lines on the actual flag, or the banner I should say. So I've actually been doing that today as well before the stream started. So yeah, and then we've also got once I've got the body put back together, I will start highlighting all the creases in the cloak and everything like that. And we've got Harry saying Panda Cat is on prime time modelling tonight, so probably a few there. Yep, there is a few on over there. Then we've got Wayne saying my Warhammer stash is getting a bit big. I need to start making a dent in it. Or has just brought the recent Kill Team starter set and brought the Orcs Kill Team today. Oh dear. So you could get him into a bit of trouble then. So what I've got to do on this one is just literally right, let's take that blue down a bit more. Because what I'm going to do is darken it around those edges a bit more. And then I've got to find one of the lighter blues and just tidy up the whole of the edge work with it and just sort of like bring it down and blend it in a bit more. So that's that sorted now, which we do have right there. So that's the colour, that's the blue I'll be using, and that's Lothian blue, or Lothian blue. So I'll be using that just to highlight the edges and the creases in the actual cloak. So that way it sort of gives it a bit more 3D effect. So next up we have the, I have to use a well, I know I can understand what you mean by having a larger Warhammer stash. I might be slightly guilty of that myself. And then, as I said, I have actually bought a new one the other day when I was in Leeds, because as of the 8th of this month, I will be starting university. Well, 8th of next month, I should say. I'll be starting university course doing my foundation degree. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Shows it. And so I don't want the stone to be too dark, because I will be using different washes on top of the stone just to bring it out a bit more. And there's also a plant there as well, which I need to use the other green, everything on. Okay. That's that bit done. Okay. Now we do need this black metal. Yeah. So yeah, the other one that I brought the other day is this dude. It's a new Black Templars Crusade Ancient, and he's one of the Bannermans. So yeah, I'm getting, I quite like the actual different ones. So, and he weren't too bad actually. I think it cost me about 23 quid. But when I opened him, the actual decals are frigging missing on it, which is a bit surprising really, and slightly annoying. But hey ho. So I'm going to have to contact Warhammer, because it means now I've had picked up two models, and both of them had their decals missing, which just isn't right, however you look at it. We do have a little hammer back there, so we do need that's the wrong one. That's the one I want. Oh, thank you, Jeff. Yeah, it's computer science foundation year, because my eldest son is wanting to go into computer design and other stuff, so like that. So I've sort of decided I'm going to try and get my qualification in it, so that I can then, if he needs help during his course, I can then help him as well. So that's the plan anyway. So hopefully that'll all work out for him. Plus the fact that the majority of most modern lifestyle now is run by bleeding computers. And to be quite honest with you, even though I already have a level 3 qualification in IT system support, it is well and truly outdated. So yeah, it's going to do me a favour in the long run. So it's going to make my life a bit easier in that respect, that I'm going to have a greater understanding of computers again. Okay. Me, it's just me just trying to do something right for myself, as well as planning ahead. Because basically the work I do is sort of like building maintenance and sort of like doing heavy lifting and stuff like that. I ain't getting any younger, so yeah, it's turning into a younger man's game, especially with all the kit what we drag around with us nowadays. I mean, with me, I'm literally, because I do not just the painting and decorating, I also do the whole house renovations in the past. And in the last sort of like 5 to 6 years, the tools that I'd normally just lug around, have no issue with, would be easily, yeah, dump it in there, big massive tool bag, dunk, next one. Never had an issue. But sort of like after my third heart attack, things are starting to feel a bit heavier, as I say. They're not as light as they used to be. So yeah, it was time to sort of say, yep, time to put up the tool belt, as they say, and move forward and sort of move into a direction where I felt comfortable. Now, I've got my level 2 electrical qualification, I've got my level 2 welding qualification. So hopefully with the foundation in systems computer science, I can then translate that into CNC programming and other stuff like that, so I can actually still do the work I want to do, but work forward and go into hopefully teaching at some point, because that's my main goal, is to go into teaching. That's what I would like to do. That's what I need, the copper one. I need to paint the back of this thing. So like I said in the past, going into teaching is not going to be easy, because most teaching jobs now are all about computers and transferring stuff around, all on computers, isn't it? So yeah, it's killing two birds with one stone on this course, really. And with it being the foundation degree, I'm quite happy. And we have Mr. Stephen Haynes joining us, saying hi Ross, good evening Stephen, and welcome to the stream. And you've got Harry saying hi to Stephen, and Stephen saying hi to Harry. But yeah, I must admit, I am looking forward to it. But I'm also sort of cacking myself at the same time as well, because I am not what you call the youngest of students. I'm a 52-year-old trying to restart their life and sort of move forward. And as anybody knows, I mean, the older you get, the harder it is to find work anyway. But I'm hoping with my own sort of experience from running my own business and everything, and then sort of like translating that into teaching skills and everything like that, I'm hoping it will sort of stand me in good stead. Oh, damn it, I'm too far up. That's better. There we go. There we go. We do what we can in life and that. So I just wanted to see what was out there. So I went last week over into Leeds. Went round to the college first because originally I wanted to do my level 3 in welding, but I then get to find out that the college doesn't offer the training for older students in level 3, but they'll offer it to the younger students. So yeah, and to say that I wasn't very happy when I found that out is an understatement. So it is what it is, I suppose. Let's see if I can get this to mix up. This is the Tesseract glow that I'm using, because I use it for the sort of like little bit of the vegetation and that. But if anybody else out there has actually used Tesseract glow, you'll know that it has a sediment in it, and that stuff has a habit of just going down to the bottom of it and going and staying sludgy and separating. So you have to do things like this. So as you can see, it's slowly mixing, but it's not mixing on this side. So you've got to turn it around. And you've got Mr. Atherton join us saying, well, that when you cannot find suitable employment and the dole are continually on your back, best thing is to think about is re-educating yourself, as courses take ages, hopefully up to retirement. No, I don't want to go all the way to retirement just to basically go through that way. I've never been one to be claiming dole either for long periods of time. That's one thing I cannot stand and ever like put up with doing. So yeah, I've paid into the system for over 30 odd years now, so I don't agree with just sitting around in the dole. If there's a reason for that person to be on the dole because of illness or whatever, then yes, I have no issue with that. But when it comes to people just sitting there on the dole for the sheer hell of it, sort of that, who are quite capable to go out and work but don't, then that's what upsets me. There we go. So there we go, it's pretty much mixed now. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Now there's also another thing about this Tesseract Glow. If you've got like a blue light pen and you basically use it on this, it actually glows in the dark. There we go, you've got a little vegetation piece done. But yeah, we're getting pretty close to finishing this figure off today, actually. Then we've got Athel. We've got Stephen Haynes saying hi to Athel, and then we've got Lindsay's Building saying hello everyone, popping in for a while. Well, that's nice of you to do that, Lindsay, and welcome to the stream. Then we've got Stephen Haynes saying hi to Lindsay, and then we've got Athel saying evening, Steph, Harry, Jeff, and Ross. So thank you, Athel. And then we've got Athel saying hello, the bacon bottage man, and then we've got Harry saying hi to Lindsay and hi to Athel. So yeah, people, I mean, as I said before, if you would like to join me, please feel free to let me know, and I'll put the link in the chat and you can join in. So we don't bite here, well, much. Now what I'm using this metallic black for is I've got belt buckles on the actual armour, and these greys here. That's what I generally use for it, just to make it look like more like a shiny leather. And then what I'm going to do is I've got the tan leather colour over there. I'll use that. Oh, come here you. I've also got the belt to do from the back of here. And of course we've got the idiots out tonight with their souped up cars, and we've got the usual fireworks going off tonight again, which is becoming more prevalent. And more annoying nowadays. My cat's decided he wants back in downstairs, even though the window's open for him to come in. He's just being too lazy because he jumped up trying to get into it earlier and ended up crashing back down to the floor outside. So before he goes and scratches the hell out the door, I will have to go and let him in. So I'll be back in a second. Won't take long. Oh, we out me. Wee. That's him back in, and he's had his treats. So yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, he's now happy that he's back in, so he's now feeding his face on his special treats that he gets each night. And so's dog. Well, at least it's not as cooking up here this evening as it was the last couple of days. So what's everybody else out up there working on at the moment? Okay. No, I mean it's not a matter of like issues. The actual model itself is all there, but for these they're supposed to have decals on the flags and everything. Sadly, they're not in the kit. So you're supposed to have like decals that go across the flag there and down there. Now, and there's also, I think there's one to go across his chest plate as well. But sadly, none of those decals are actually, the decal sheet's missing from it. And then for the Archicopter, there was supposed to be the skulls and that for the Adaptus Mechanicus thing. And basically, they weren't there either. So that's two models now that I've bought from Warhammer, and both of them haven't got their decals in the kit. We've got Lynn saying, I'm quite content just watching Ross. I always like these Age of Sigmar figures, so much detail in them. Then you got Apple saying 3 head takers and 3 walls, Ross. And then you got Lynn saying, I sometimes watch the 40k Warhammer games, and cinematic movies on 40k gives you real sense of actually detail. Yeah, I watch them sometimes myself, where at night time when I can't sleep, I just search through YouTube until I find a Warhammer series or just the short videos and that lot that are on there. So yeah, it's it does sort of like give you some context of what their armors and everything look like as well, which is always handy. I've done that one already. Good. I think I've got everything done on there. Yep, so that's all sorted. Just got to get the belt buckle on this one done. So I need Liberator Gold. Yep, that's the one I wanted, Liberator Gold. You've got Wayne saying there's a decal sheet of Space Marines with the month's issue of White Dwarf. I might have a look at that. Then we've got Stephen saying hi to Wayne Wally, and then Wayne Wally saying hi to Stephen, and Apple saying evening Wayne. I must admit, ever since I moved my cave up into the attic, it's been a lot more organised, so to speak. Now, especially I've moved most of my paints into the racks that are either side of me. So you can see one of them down there, and then the other one's over to this side of me. So yeah, it makes a lot of difference. I must admit that. And yeah, in a way I quite like it. And it keeps everything away from downstairs, so when you do have visitors, you haven't got to worry about them sort of seeing everything. And there we go. Keep the hammer on. Now I just need to put the other button on this one, like so. We need to do that again. We've got Wayne saying hi to Ethel. Where is it? I know it's one of them. I've seen it. Where I'd missed something. Where are you? Yeah, thought so. Missed the back section of the belt buckles there. Or the greys buckles. There we go. And then we've got another one just there as well. But yeah, I agree with Lindsay. The amount of detail you get in these Age of Sigma figures is absolutely stunning. And I think that's one of the reasons why I prefer to doing these sort of figures than the standard Space Marines and that. Because you do get a lot more bang for your buck, I suppose, in the way to say it, compared to what you would do normally with your Space Marine. But even so, I think the detail on this one, they're starting to bring a lot more detail into the Space Marines, which is good in a way, but there's only so many ways you can paint them in it, really. But hopefully, yes, we should have Mr. Dude together today. So that's that. Oh, God, I'm going to have to clean out this lid at some point. Yep, definitely. Ooh, yeah, that's caked. Oh, man. No wonder this is struggling to close. Yeah. It helped. And that's one of the reasons why it's struggling to close the lid. it's a good job I am cleaning it out, really. Yeah, it's definitely well and truly gunked up. Now, I don't recommend doing this with a scalpel for everybody else out there, because if you end up slipping with it, you're gonna do some damage to yourself. But I've got sort of used to doing it this way. Yeah, that's definitely clogged up. Jesus. Lucky enough, this pot's not so full now. Because I've had it, well, this is one I've had when I've stopped streaming for a while, and the paint's probably at least a good 3-4 years old. So yeah, to be still usable, I'm happy. Now hopefully, yay, it goes on a lot easier now. There we go. Ha. Okay. Now, with the base stone and everything like that, I do normally find some white. And what I'm going to try and do, without doing too much damage to the rest of it, is dry brush the edges a little bit. I need that brush, a scrap of card or paper, which you'll do. That's now whitened up a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll start layering on the Agrax earth shade to the stonework first. And I'll need, not you, oh yeah, you'll do. So that's then just adding a bit of colour to it. When that dries, it will sort of give it an earthier look. And then I just want to add a little bit of non-oil over the main stone first. Then it sort of like darkens the main faces, but it leaves the white edges of the stone that I've just dry brushed. That's what I sort of like do this for. And then once I've done this, I will then use the sepia green, I think it is, or Athonian camo shade is one I've got there. We will use that to basically go over the whole area, and then that should, in theory, sort of give it more of a textured old stone look, the way I do it anyway. So that's how I do my stoneworkish thing stuff. Now, as of this, I'm going to dry brush the cloak and the front and rear of it. And as I said, we'll be using this blue, which needs a bit of help. Because it's got a bit studgy. That sounds a bit better. Yeah, there we go. Now we need another scudgy brush. Where are you? No, not that one. That's the one. So all I want to do now is go around literally along the edges, like so, and into the cracks. So it just gives it a bit more sort of like 3D effect of. Oops, there we go. But then there was something else I'm going to go over it again with another shade. And that will darken it down considerably. As you can see in the back there. Now, what I'm going to do, now that I've done that, is get the nun oil. And this is what I generally use to darken down the cloaks. Everything. I'm just doing it so I don't need a lot of it on the brush. Because it will dull it down once it's dried. It looks a bit bright at the moment when it's still wet, but and go over to the leather pieces as well with that. Just over that. So effectively we're just making the gonfalons just slightly darker, and that will just highlights the flag a bit more. All I'm doing is just making it a bit darker around it, and it just sort of like takes off some of the shine because it's supposed to be a banner that's been used in battle, so just making it a bit darker down, but you just don't want to be putting too much on it, so I'm just giving it a quick brush over. And there we go. So now you can see that what was really bright on that one, that's one that I haven't done yet, but then that was exactly the same. So it just gives it that texture of being worn and sort of weathered look. And the same with the gunpowders on the actual flag. So yeah, so that's what that part's going to be looking like. So we're going to do the same with this. Okay. Where's there? I can now chill as my adult tasks are done. One part of Warhammer that doesn't get much, if any, coverage is Blood Bowl. Is that none or? It is indeed. It just sort of like blands things down and takes the brightness off it, and that's what I've done to sort of like give the weathering effect on the cloak and on the actual gunpowders here, and just laid it over the flag just to give it, take off that really shininess of it. So first of all, we are going to put, that's what I need to do now. Ooh. So yeah, that was none of that I used. A load of crap all over it. I might have to get some more of that at some point when I get some more pennies. And it's the Athenian Camo Shade, which is another colour I'm going to be using because that's going to go over the stone now that that's dried off. So one good thing about using the shade stuff is if you think you've put too much on, you can just basically wash the brush off and then draw it down, and as you see there, it's got a lot better effect on it. So then you can draw some off with a damp brush. So now we're going to start putting this dude together because he's basically nearly done, and then we can start hopefully. I've got you into position. Yep, his foot's there. And now this is a glue that I got sent from a friend of mine from Yorkshire Veterans Modelling Group. It's called Plastic Magic. Works very similar to Tamiya, but it does have a lot longer brush with it, which does make life a little bit easier. So we get the dude's cloak and everything back into there. You put it in there like so. Get in position. Cool. There we go. And that's his little dude on that part put together. Okay. Yeah, that one's what I want because it's got the rubber clamps on it. Just hold it together for a second. So next up, we're going to actually be doing the base for him. You've got to say, well, Celia's already in bed, Hamish is asleep, dreaming of chasing bunnies, and as I had a shower earlier, I will take my leave and join my lover. That's all. No, Ethel, and thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated. So take care. And you've got everybody saying night to Ethel, and then Wayne saying, what's the weather like by everyone, as by me it's hammering it down. At the moment, we're still dry, and we are still at 14 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's pretty good here at the moment still. I've just noticed that I've actually missed one of the little tabs so on his uniform that holds his chest plate on, so I've just got to paint that one up quickly. I can still get to him easy enough. There we go. So next we're going to have put his arm on him. And you've got Harry saying dry here. We're due to get a lot of heavy rain at some point fairly soon. When? Not too sure when, but we are due to get some. There we go. So basically, Mr. Dude is near enough done. Now, one of the reasons why, that I cover up where the join mark is, like on the cloak there, what I will be doing is I'll make it look more like a fold by actually highlighting with the lighter blue again. So hopefully that should then sort of like take that focus, because it is slightly raised, so it looks like a line. So what we'll do is we'll just highlight that up a little bit, and then we'll go over a bit more none all. There we go. What are we doing now? Non-oil. This should hopefully now blend that front and back section a bit more together. Yeah. So you don't really notice the join mark on there either now, which is good. So yeah, that's that sorted. So next up we'll be transferring this onto this. So that's what we'll be doing next. And then we start having fun building up the base. Now I do have lots of different materials for that. That's all in this drawer down here, and I should hopefully not move them too far, and they still are easily accessible. Some little flowers in that I had. And I do have some Warhammer decals there, but they're not the ones that I want. Oh, there's one of them. Yep, so that's one of them. That way. I found, and a bonus, Stephen, I've actually found your stickers. So there we go, I've actually found your stickers. So I will now get that sorted again. I've been, now that I found them again. Because me and trying to get stickers to bleeding Stephen have not gone well. I've sent out 3 lots to him so far, and the poor lad hasn't received any of them. For some reason or other, they keep getting lost. But there we go. I mean, I will succeed at some point, and I will keep trying. Even if it brings me more, ordering more stickers. Okay. Let's see. What am I looking for now? Long drawer usually helps. Yeah, they are. Been looking for them. You're big in time. It's amazing when you're searching for other stuff that things that you've been looking for ages suddenly turn up by pure accident. But hey ho, adds to the fun and games of it all, as they say. What have we got in here? And you found a load more brilliant paintbrushes in here as well. Oh, but not what I wanted. Why? Now, if you want a big paintbrush, here's one. Chunky brush. And I'll probably end up using that when I do my Lancaster. Let's draw down. Aha! Here we go. Now, there should be glasses. And that's that one. And the stones. But of course, the one that I wanted is the actual different type of flowers from that one. I cannot find that. It has gone a walkabout of all things. It's around somewhere. Well, they are around somewhere still. So I'll have a look in the drawer in a minute. What we've got here? More grasses. Slightly different styles. Got moss and everything. That's one. Yeah. No, we don't want to be putting catnip on it. 1 Gonna need some of that. Now I know I pick out a lot of different stuff from my collection of scenic stuff, but that's mainly because there's different sizes of material that I use for each base. Lollipop sticks. And plates. Aha, that's what I do here as well. Them. Do it in more of a 3D effect. Now, oh dear. This is one of the reasons why when I pick up different types of gravel and everything. Now in these jars, I actually picked these up. I think I paid about £5 for what's in this tub. So there's all sorts of different ones that, a lot of them that I won't be using, but God knows what's in there. There's whatever that is, a bit of twig or whatever. Well, look at that, that's another point. Most of this stuff is actually for train tracks and all that sort of thing, but I do use a lot of it for this sort of stuff. That's the main reason why I've got it, really. But what I'm trying to find is the different size gravel that I've got. I know I have got some. It might just be there we are. There it is. That's what I wanted. Ah. Yeah, the brush probably is more of a train brush, but it's actually soft enough to use for me to do the base coat of black on the bottom half of the aircraft and then the brown on the top half, and then go over. Now you use my other brushes to go and do the green part of the camouflage. So yeah, so we now have to take this one off of here, like so, and then we're going to put him onto there like so. That's not going to work, so we do need this, so I'll get the heavy pliers. Oh, you're not wanting to break, are you? Believe it or not, this is actually roofing slate, what I'm using here. So yeah, it's now I do have a hammer around somewhere, but I'm not going to bother using it. So let's see if I can break you. Nope, it will come in handy for you. And a bit of that. So yeah. chunks. There we go. Yep. So I'm not going to use that one. There you go. Got Steve saying it's drying Gloucester Wayne. Literally the idea of this you didn't. I think the idea of this you didn't slate the model. You guys are getting the good weather still then. Yeah, I mean it's been fairly warm and sunny all day today for me around here, so I've been having fun in the garden, sorting bits out here and there. Let's put this. So about there. Let's go to that area, so to speak. It sort of joins onto that. Now I'm just going to try and break these edges up a little bit more. You got Lynn saying it was 29 degrees here today, 18 at the moment. Yeah, I think we've dropped to about 14 now. Yeah. Yeah, that's better. Just breaking up these straighter lines that were on the edges. There we go. Yeah. There we go, that's better. A bit happier with that now. Bits of stone all over me, what slate. Yeah. There we go. So, we have a good selection of different things, but yes, there's a Scale Model Ninja. If you want some of these stickers, let me know, and I will sort that out. But for you, let's put all these out of the way in a minute. Yeah, that's some of the other stuff in there as well. Good. So we do have some of the actual bigger, chunkier bits of stone as well in here. Plants. So first of all, it's a matter of getting into my glue tray now, moving everything out of the way of it, because I don't use the Tamiya glue for securing any of this stuff on. I use a different type, which is normal like Humrol tube glue. I find I get better results that way. But the only thing is, it's generally in this bottom drawer. There we go. we go. Shorty. So here we go. It's better like that. Yep. Okay. Why don't you want to see it? And this is the main reason why I use this type of glue, because it sort of sticks in better. Now where's me? There we go. I'm not too worried about being like excess glue sticking out here, there and everywhere, because I can do things like that. But when it comes to bigger stones, you'll see that. Put you there. You want it there. Oops. A little bit of stone there. So what I'm just doing now is just slowly building up around the stone area. And I'll slide bits in here and there until I've got the sort of effect that I want. There we go. And try and make things look a bit more natural to where the stone would be sort of sitting. So yeah, that's that bit done. Okay. Now, as I said before, I'm not too worried about glue getting on the stone a bit too much, because that's going to be cleared up in a minute, and you'll see why. And as I've got glue all over myself because of this, like I normally end up doing. Because then what I'm going to do with this bit, you just throw these in. These are just like the little bits of slate, and then you basically do that, and all the other little bits, they sometimes catch into those bits of glue. But what I'm going to be doing now is putting some little tufts and everything on there. Now in here, there should be one of my other favourite little bits. Oh, there it is. And here we are. And then all I'm going to do is pick little bits of moss off. And we're going to place it where the stone joins on. Get away. Go. And this is why doing something like this can take you just as long as actually painting the damn figure, because you're putting like little bits of moss and everything into place, but you can just generally see how it's slowly building out. And I just pick bits off of this and slowly push it into position. Okay. Wayne's saying heading off to has got a busy day tomorrow, and my little sister and her girlfriend are down for a few of them, and Mrs. got dentist in the afternoon. Well, take care and thank you very much for joining us. Much appreciated. It's off me. I think this one is. Okay. There we go. So that's the little bits of moss over it so far. Now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to add a line of smaller stone around the bigger stone. So the only way to do that is by putting down, put you in there. I'm going to put a line of glue around the stones. And what I can do is remove him for a minute. Just take him off for a second. Oops. I didn't want to do that for a second. So I can get this glue around there. Because effectively what this will do now is it will give me, as you all know, when you build the bases, it's like glue. Well, these you'll have small stones scattered around bigger stones. And put you back into place. I shouldn't have to remove you again after this now. Oh, get in. hole. There we go. There we go. Put it in the hole and stay there. That's that piece of big moss or something it's got underneath it. So what we do is we're going to make sure you stay in place as well. Now, there you go. And that should help hold him into place. There we go. So what we're doing now is use this stuff, and it's a mixture of different aggregates in there, but what I do need first is a piece of paper so I don't end up wasting all the agate. Oh, you swine. Will you frigging well glue into place? Thank you. Now, bleeding stay there, you swine. There we go. So the reason why I have a bit of paper there, you'll see in a minute. All I'm just going to do is keep dropping this stone around on it, like so, and it's going to drop off all the ones that I don't want in there. And there we go. So now we've got that part done. So we've got the stones looking as if they belong where they are. And there's more naturally drop down. Then what I'm going to do now is literally bring that all together like so and put it back in the jar like so. Now I do have some finer gravel than this, which is what I'll be using next, which will be going in between some of that stonework. And how I normally get that to glue, I will use this glue. I've just got to find that finer gravel again now, wherever I put the down stuff. Am I bringing it up here? Nope. So, I'm finding it again now. Oh, actually, yeah, that could actually be doing the job. So with this now, all I'm going to be doing is literally putting some of this glue around here. So we literally just put the glue around just randomly, touching up everywhere I want. And then we'll get this, and then we'll put just bring that on. And there we go. So we've now got the smaller stone falling in between the other bits of gravel. And then we can literally just bring that all together. Put that back into there. And there we go. That's that bit done. Now we're going to be adding some plants. Now these plants are just basically stick down ones. Now sometimes I don't use the whole thing. I'll basically cut it down to the size that I want. And that one's lost its sticky bit, so what we'll do is I won't use much of this yellow because it doesn't really need too much. It's not sticky at all, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to use the other type of glue. That's it. Need flat nose ones, where are you? Another piece just about here. And this one, probably get another piece over this side somewhere. Not a big piece. There we go. Okay, so that's the grass is done. Well, that was thought I didn't want that. So we do have some different grasses to go on. Yeah, these ones are sticky. Good. Here you go. There we go. So that's that grassy dump. Next up, we are going to basically just use a leafage to go on that between the stones, and basically that's what it is this stuff I'm going to use to make it look more like a dried out area. So again, all I'm going to do is use this type of glue, the Revell one. I'm also going to dab little bits of it on the bigger stones and gaps areas, because I want some of the leafage to sit onto other areas. Okay, so open that up again. And basically this should be near enough finished fairly soon, this one. And this is also a mixture of like different types of foliage that I've made up and put together. There we go, so that should, and there we have the base miniature all done. So another one bites the dust. There with that one, and that can go in there with that one. Where's my lid gone? So I hope you enjoyed the building of this one, and the next one up will be, I think we may even do the other Bannerman, the Black Knights one next. So that will probably be the next build. So hopefully you've all enjoyed what I've done with this one, and hopefully you'll enjoy the next one just as much. I mean, I try my best to keep you like entertained, but it's not easy. It isn't easy. Okay. That's out of the way. And hopefully at some point in the near very future I might even transfer him into being used on a larger diorama base, which should make it a lot more interesting. Yeah, wait. Just making the drawer. Gluiness. We have to change that blade over. So next up, we're either going to be doing Mr. Other Bannerman Dude, this one, or I might be doing something else different. I'm not too sure yet. I know I've got some figures that I need to paint up for Roaring, and what I might do is actually, because both Draven and Roaring want a separate army, so we may be doing this little dude for them because they want the red and blue armies. So whether they want to fight each other, I don't know on that one. But yeah, so I hope you, as I said, I hope you all enjoyed what we've got done today, and I hope that you're happy with what you see. I think it's turned out all right. So yeah, it's only taken me a couple of weeks to get done. Well, I'm happy enough with that. So what we'll probably do is I'll probably get this little dude done actually next. Paint him in blue for the boys, just to tide me over while I think of what next to really do. Because I don't want to do the other Bannerman just yet, because I want to get the decals for it. But that's basically, these are actually free from what I got from the Warhammer shop. Now that one will not get anything else done to it, because that is actually for Roaring's first ever Space Marine that he did, and that one will never get touched, but that little dude will. So you got Stephen Hayes Model saying night everyone. Well, no night Stephen, and thank you very much for joining us. And yeah, I will be debating what next to build. I think we've got some I do have a Warhammer vehicle. It's a matter of whether I can find the instructions to rebuild it, because I got it second hand and it was pretty much basically really badly painted. I think all stuck together, so I dismantled it. Is it in there, or is that, no, that's the other one? Ah, there you are. You are underneath the rock wall. Come on. There we go. Put you down there for a minute. Yes. So yeah, this is basically a model that I got, and it was really badly put together. So I basically started dismantling it so I can actually paint it. And these are all the parts to it. The engine and everything, and base, weapons, stand, more weapons, other parts of plates and back doors for it, the opening section, and basically all those parts. So I'm actually going to probably end up building that just for the sheer fun of it, but I'm going to have to find the instructions for it online. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting build again, because all the parts are here that I do know of, so it's just a matter of rebuilding it, because it looked absolute rubbish before. So yeah, so I just got to basically work out how to to actually put this whole thing together again. That's part of the cockpit there, or the turret basically. So yeah, that's what I'm going to probably be building next, I think. I do have the instructions for it somewhere, and I think they're in one of the boxes back there. So I will find them out, and then we'll start putting this together. And then we'll paint a couple of little dudes to go with him. So yeah, I think that's what's to be next, is this. And then we'll have fun building something out of it. And that's the wing and that. Oh dear me. And you can generally tell it's for me it's not been great weather, because it's like my hay fever, and it's sort of like really stuffed my nose up. Yeah, it has. So yeah, I can't remember what this vehicle's called again, but when I find the instructions I will work it out. They're all like the little side guns and everything like that, and I dismantled it because it was very badly skew ripped and put together. So yeah, so I could actually paint it easier then. Storm Raven assault cannons. There we go, it's a Storm Raven. And the Storm Raven landing gear. And the parts it. Yep. So yeah, there we go. So it's a Storm Raven. So I will get that put together, but we'll have fun painting that. So I'm going to probably call it a night here now. Yep, because it's near time. So I've got to. Oh, don't want to lose that. Change your camera up. So there we go. So hopefully you've all enjoyed watching the stream tonight, and I hope you all like my little dude now that he's finished. So yep, that's bit of glue stuck over him and dust. There we go. So yeah, he's all sorted out and finished off. So I'm quite happy with the way he's finished. That's the first figure I've actually painted in quite some time. I've normally, with the Warhammer stuff, I've normally done either a vehicle or something else, but not actually painted any figures for quite some time, so it's nice to actually do one. Other than general basic Space Marines, and nah. They don't excite me like when you're doing Age of Sigmar. I find the amount of detail in it allows it and brings you sort of like gets everything going, and you think like, oh, what can I do to actually make this look better? And yeah, so that's what I've done. So between the Archicopter, the Imperial Knight, and him, I've actually had some good fun doing it so far. So yeah, I am back on Friday night again, so I will see you then at 10 o'clock in the evening, and hopefully I should have Mr. Marcus with me, and maybe Mr. Sprue, you never know, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I will say good night for now, take care, stay safe, and happy modelling. So bye bye for now.